So hi everyone, I'm Shantae, aka Shanteezy on Twitter and Instagram, or just simply just Shantae. I'm here with my, daily spiel, like I do. So I have the update for coronavirus on this Lord's Day. If you want more content, ooh, my lopsided ass bun, but I'm in the house, so shit. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel or like this video or watch the replay on Periscope. So let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb so I don't get no alerts. But I am here with the daily coronavirus numbers. You can look at them yourself for public knowledge on coronavirus.jhu, which is John Hopkins University.edu. So I'll type it in here for more coronavirus data. Let's make sure to check that. Oh no, data. Please visit coronavirus.jhu, which is John Hopkins University.edu for more info. So I'm here with these numbers. And also I have the New York Times COVID map. You can subscribe to the New York Times COVID map as well. I'm not going to type that in there. I don't feel like doing that shit. So globally, according to the Johns Hopkins website, we are at 27,002,224 cases of COVID-19. That's 188 countries, including the USA. The global death toll is at 882,053. So we're on that wave of trajectory to that 1 million death toll around the world. And the U.S. is a chunk, the most of those cases. I think we're an eighth of those cases of the death toll, according to these numbers, if you do the fractions. But we do have the most fatalities on the globe, according to the other countries that have contained their coronavirus. So we all know it's a lack of leadership. We all know we don't have a national coordinated strategy to combat COVID. I say that every night. And I say that every night because we really have no plan. And wave 2 is coming. If you study pandemics, if you read about pandemics, there's always waves. And does it have a financial ripple effect? Obviously, it does. Just because 1.4 million jobs were added, those were people that was recalled to go back to work. And that includes temporary work. But people are going to be laid off due to temporary work pretty soon. So we're at a bad standstill. And companies like American Airlines is ready to do a massive layoff, and Bed Bath & Beyond. So, and that includes their stores like the Bed Bath & Beyond stores and Face Value, which is part of Bed Bath & Beyond. So, I already said the global numbers. In the U.S., we account for, like I said, 4/5 of those cases. So we had 6,275,643. With our death toll, according to the Johns Hopkins website, because when you watch MSNBC, they tell you a different number, like 190,000. According to the Johns Hopkins website, when you go on the website yourself and I refresh the page to make sure it's the exact number, their reported numbers on the website is 188,932. So that's the accuracy that I get from their website. According to the New York Times COVID map, now for the states, I go to the New York Times COVID map because on the Johns Hopkins website, when they do the U.S. tracking numbers, they do it by county. They don't do it by state. They do it by each county in each state, and that's a lot to keep up, to add up those numbers. So that's why I go to the New York Times COVID map for the states, for the states here only. So I pick out the top 10 with the most cases. So California has 739,864. Florida has, excuse me, not Florida. Texas has 665,176. Florida has 646,423. New York, which was the epicenter and the state with the most cases, is now the state with the fourth largest cases at 444,226. Followed by Georgia at 266,707. Illinois has 252,306. Arizona has 205,772. New Jersey has 195,841. North Carolina has 177,141. And Tennessee, which now have reached over Louisiana, is in that top 10. Because Louisiana is not too much shies away from Tennessee, but Tennessee has 161,589. Tennessee's not really a big state. Tennessee's not as huge as places like California, Texas, Florida, New York. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on there. Just to give you some analytics and some little side note data, the U.S. population is at 328.2 million. And we account for a fifth of those cases. Like a fifth. Literally. While China has 1.393 billion people, and their case is at their number of cases at 90,058. And according to Time magazine Time.com, on July 2nd, China has contained their number of cases within 21 days. Their second wave, because they just went through their second wave, of 21 days without any deaths. And that's in June. We're in September. We haven't reached our second wave yet. Our first wave is traumatic right now. I mean, we had 6.2, almost 6.3 million cases. And our nation is not even that huge compared to China. China has less than 100,000. 1.393 billion people with the versus the 328.2 million people in the United States. There's a huge disconnect. Like I said, leadership sucks here. No matter what the occupant of the White House foams out of his mouth about the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, did not tell us this, or China wasn't honest and they knew China wasn't honest. But China has less than 100,000 cases, even though they're doing some fucked up shit to us right now with the whole election thing. They have their coronavirus under control. We don't. Almost 200,000 are dead in our country. China's death toll is not, I don't even think, if it's double digits, it's probably in 10,000 somewhere. Well, if he's trying to stop COVID, best believing that, because I don't believe that shit. And trust me, a New Yorker knows a New Yorker. Donald Trump is a New Yorker. He's not a Midwestern. He's a New Yorker. We all know BSers. Donald Trump is the complete, he BS, his whole life is BS. But believe whatever you want to believe. Believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. If China lied about it, why they have 100,000? Why they have less than 100,000 cases and we have like 6.2 billion cases? Don't talk shit and you don't know shit. Believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. If China lied about it, why they have 100,000? Why they have less than 100,000 cases and we have like 6.2 billion cases? Don't talk shit. So this is what happens when you have trolls. You block a Tadarius Joseph. So, have to do that. Because I'm not going back and forth with people on the internet. Especially when they following 200 some odd people and they have 12 followers. Nobby. So, Yeah, there's a huge disconnect. Huge. And also, just to give you another data. So California and Los Angeles, according to the Johns Hopkins website, they are the number one county with the most cases at 247,542. And their number of deaths are at 6,000 even. Yeah. Something wrong. And we didn't even reach wave 2. But moving on, so I saw Kamala Harris's interview. I didn't see it live, but I catch her interview on YouTube, and I just want to play like a snippet of her interview because it was extremely good. And even though Dana Bash do gets on my nerves as an interviewer, just overall, not just interviewing Kamala, but just interviewing people, I just wish sometimes she would just shut the fuck up sometimes. And and could have let Jake Tapper do that interview because that's really not her show. In technicality, it's just not her damn show. So let's see. And also, I will drop an interview on. I'll drop a video on Candace Owens straight after this live. But I just want to play some of this interview of Kamala Harris, and it was addressing Trump muzzling his scientists.
I think that we have learned since this pandemic started, but really before that there's very little that we can trust that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth. From the beginning of this pandemic, he has called it a hoax. He has muzzled the public health experts. He has minimized the seriousness of it. He has created false expectations for the American people and American families, even though if he had listened to the scientists and the experts, he would have understood the gravity of it and the power that he as President of the United States has to actually save lives. And none of those were his priorities. His priority was to do whatever he thought was politically expedient. And no, I would not trust his word. I would trust the word of public health experts and scientists, but not Donald Trump.
But do you trust that in the situation where we're in now, that the public health experts and the scientists will get the last word on the efficacy of a vaccine?
If past is prologue, that they will not. They'll be muzzled. They'll be suppressed. They will be sidelined because he's looking at an election coming up in less than 60 days, and he's grasping for whatever he can get to pretend that he's been a leader on this issue when he's not.
So let's just say there's a vaccine that is approved and even distributed before the election. Would you get it?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue for all of us. I will say that I would not trust Donald Trump, and it would have to be a credible source of information that talks about the efficacy and the reliability of whatever he's talking about. I will not take his word for it. He wants us to inject bleach. I will not take his word.
Kudos to Kamala handling that question like a champ. So I tweeted this. For facts, Trump has tainted, muzzled, and silenced the medical experts for telling the truth, especially about COVID-19. So this to Daria Joseph, I blocked him because I don't like to argue with bots all day. He's doing this to win re-election. And yes, he told us to inject bleach on April 23rd. That was 2 days after my fucking birthday. And I said, Kamala Harris, I don't trust what comes out of his mouth. Listen, I'm a New Yorker. I grew up in New York. Donald Trump is from Elmhurst, Queens. I just had this conversation with my father. He was outside. We was talking because he came down to my house today. And I told my father, was like, I don't trust this motherfucker not one bit. I never did. He said, yeah, he was always a terrible person. I said, yeah, he's a terrible person. Donald Trump is a fucking BSer. His whole life is a fucking BS, like I said. Like, he's trying to relate to the average blue-collar worker. My dude, you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. Your father had a company built off the backs of people. He didn't even put black people in his buildings back in Queens in the 1970s. That he was sued by the Nixon administration which I thought that administration was so corrupt, and still. And then you did shit in the 80s too with the Central Park 5, and even before then with your fucking casinos. You filed for bankruptcy 4 fucking times. And then you trying to give advice on medical advice? Like, that's why people in New York said from before, do not have this man. He is a nobody. Never still a nobody. His whole family, they all nobodies in Manhattan. Nobodies. I grew up 20 minutes away from where his office is. I grew up in Harlem. I currently now reside a few blocks away from his building. It's almost damn near the other side of town on me because it's on 5th Avenue. I live on West End Avenue. 61st Street in West End. He lives, his building is on 57th and 5th. Right near the Carnegie Hall. Which I'm like, yo, disastrous, nasty ass building is near the Carnegie Hall. Okay, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, why would you believe somebody that's a swindler and a grifter and a dumbass? That has an intelligence less than a 3-year-old. So I believe and I concur with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and their plan. If you read, go to joebiden.com and read the plan of tackling coronavirus for schools and per se, it's very rigorous. And we should be wearing, we should be wearing masks. But let me just read this comment. On the morning of 9/11/2000, Trump was bragging that now he had the largest skyscraper in the city. No, it's actually, his building is not even as tall as the Chrysler building. I know that. The Empire State Building is still tall than the Chrysler Building. And I think there's the Woolworth Building that's downtown, I think near Chambers Street. Yeah. But, yeah, I concur with Kamala. Kamala all day. I was for her for the presidency. Now I'm her. I'm glad she's a VP. Going to be the VP for our potential VP. And Trump and Pence ain't ready for that smoke. And Kamala's not the type to yell. Kamala's mad chill, mad calm, know how to communicate her words and everything. But the whole interview, I encourage people to watch it on YouTube. It's very good. Don't watch it on your headphones because the sound on the audio headsets is kind of like shaky. You're better off watching it like on your laptop, even on your phone without the headphones, or your iPad or tablet, whatever you have to watch it at. It's very good. It's a very good interview. I encourage you to watch it. But on to the haters of Kamala Harris. So Liz Murr, she's a Republican strategist that worked in Republican politics, some failed campaigns for quite some time, had the audacity to say this shit yesterday in the weeds of the evening. And trust me, I think she got a taste of the K-Hive last night. So I'm just going to read some of this thread to you. I may vote for Biden-Harris, but I continue to be unimpressed by Kamala Harris. Karen shit. I don't believe she is ready for prime time. I think she can be ready to be president if the time comes, but Joe Biden really should have picked someone else. What, Amy Klobuchar? Because you know you're a libertarian shit. So let me just read. Yeah, she's a communication strategist for Roy Blunt, stupid ass, Walker, Rand Paul's stupid ass, Rick Perry's failed presidential campaign, Kari Fiorina's failed presidential campaign. She's also a libertarian. I hate libertarians. Fucking God. Fucking nerves. But she said this also. She probably likely to prove no less competent than Donald Trump lowbar. Yes, I'm sure she'll be more competent, but I could name about 100 big names who would be president for the both parties that I trust more than her and think more ready than her at this point. Bitch. Harris still doesn't seem comfortable being who she really is as opposed to who she thinks voters want her to be. She continues to fall into the trap of saying attention-grabbing and controversial things in a irresponsible way more she seemed able to follow through. You stink hoe. I'm going to save that because that don't age well. Needless to say, we're not in Sarah Palin territory, but in some ways, we have the opposite problem. Palin totally knew who she was. It was just repellent to a lot of lower 48 Americans. Harris seems to not know who she is or able to authentically convey it. I didn't read the whole entire thing, but Harris clearly consumes a shit ton of information and have far greater basic knowledge relevant to the totality of presidency than Palin did at the same stage. Why would you compare a dumbass to the most competent, smart, intelligent woman? Yeah, okay. A woman who hasn't gone far but the governor of Alaska. Just more enraged. Oh, I see Jan thing. Jan, okay. Jan throwing that shade. But that doesn't mean she's doing smart things with the info she has opposed to trying to please many people. So, Liz, who worked on failed presidential campaigns for Republicans, you didn't even work for the Bushes. Let me tell you this, Kamala Harris is the most competent woman that was considered for the vice presidency. Biden chose the right person. Stacey Abrams was but she didn't serve no past in a state, legislator? Amy Klobuchar is an okay senator, but Amy Klobuchar don't connect with black people. Gretchen Whitmer is the governor of Michigan, and that's how far she went. She's a new governor. Keisha Lance Bottoms just became a mayor. Elizabeth Warren, she's a senator, but she doesn't have foreign policy experience. Nor she still has a hard time connecting with mostly a lot of black women. Only she connect with black women less than 40? You have to connect with black people on a whole. She doesn't have that much LGBTQ support like Kamala does, or Hispanic votes like Kamala does, or suburban white women like Kamala does, and definitely black support. And amongst older people. So what the fuck are you talking about, Liz? And to compare it to fucking Sarah Palin was no more than the governor of Alaska, like I said. And she was the dumbest vice presidential pick on both parties. She made John Edwards look like a Grammy Award winner. When she had that debate with Biden demolished her ass calmly because she was a lady. Even Paul Ryan was a better vice presidential pick for Romney than fucking Sarah Palin. That's the worst fucking thing that John McCain ever did. And Meghan McCain shouldn't even say nothing neither because that was her father's campaign. So the fact that you compared Sarah Palin, but she knew who she was, Sarah Palin is white trash. There's Republicans that don't even want to be affiliated with Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin got so many scandals with her children. Her daughters are all kinds of a hoe. Kamala Harris has a squeaky clean personal life compared to Sarah fucking Palin. Sarah Palin's all the way divorced. Her child was a teen mom. Sarah Palin became a grandmother at a very early age. Okay? She know who she is. And Kamala Harris has a shit tons of information and don't know how to use it. Yes, she does. If you heard that interview, she knows how to communicate very well. She talks like a fucking leader. She knows how to communicate policy and knows how to talk about foreign policy and how we can combat this election interference. How Russia, China, and Iran is interfering in our fucking elections. Sarah Palin couldn't communicate foreign nothing. She couldn't even explain why there's a war in fucking Iraq back in 2008. So what the fuck are you talking about, Liz? Huh, Liz? What are you talking about, Liz? Liz is prejudice. So my message to Liz, actually work for decent Republicans. Actually get a job in Republican politics. Stop working for failed campaigns. Stop working for failed presidential campaigns. Actually, go help one of his colleagues, Mitch McConnell, who possibly could be beaten by Amy McGrath. He's kicking his own ass. Worry about helping Lindsey Graham. Worry about helping Justin Omaj actually trying to find a career again. Stop fucking checking for Kamala talking about you gonna vote for Biden. We don't want your support, bitch. We have enough Republicans for the vote. Let me see, did she say anything about the K-Hot coming for her? Because she learned the day, Jack. She learned with that fucking fucked up ass tweet. Let's see. Did she learn anything from that fucking fucked up ass tweet? She said, I really enjoy the fan mail from folks on the left calling me a fucking cunt tonight. For the record, yes I am. And you're going to have to do more than insult me to shut me up and down. Some people get intimidated by the hate mail. I treat it as a sign. I'm doing something right. I stopped being afraid of people when I was 12. Twitter thug. You are a Twitter thug ass bitch. Because you know you got attacked by the K-Hive. And I want to see what the fellow K-Hive said because, you know, Jan already said, I love Jan. Jan be telling it like it fucking is. What did Jan say? Jan be don't be giving a fuck. I love Jan. You work for Roy Blunt, one of the most corrupt senators in D.C. Your opinion is disqualified. Let's see who else says something. Oh, libertarian. Don't line your birdcage with this opinion. They would be ovarian cruelty. Oh, Tiff, Sassy Tiff says, shut the hell up. Let me guess. You wanted powwow child Liz. Get the fuck out of here. Not today, Karen. That's right. I'll mute her racist ass. That's what Sean said. She's a chaos agent that needs to get shunned, ignored, blocked, and muted. Lisa Thomas said, it took you 5 tweets to tell us that you're a racist, jealous, catty, extremely threatened. You have not saved yourself so much time because literally no one cares the way you feel. Yes, Lisa. Yes, Lisa. And I'm going to quote your retweet. Yes, this is everything. Let's see. The Kim said, I continue to be unimpressed with your haircut. That must mean that you don't know who you really are and have deeply seated insecurity issues. See how that works. Critical thinking is a cop say, I shit you not. I thought her hair was. Yo, K-Ha, Jen Tyler Skinner said, I continue to be unimpressed by your marginal, mediocre types who have deluded themselves into thinking there's a position to offer an assessment of Kamala Harris is competent and overall. Oh, Vote for Justice said the reason you wrote this is for attention. Facts. Clout chasing ass Liz Moore need a job. So CNN, if you out there, Fox, One American News, or even MSNBC, if you want a twisted, sadistic ass libertarian, confused, degoosed Liz Moore, she needs a job. She needs a job. Liz needs a job. And Liz, if you're watching this, if this gets to reach to you, if you want a job, if you need your resume updated, let me know. I do resumes on the side. I do resumes. But that's enough of me dragging Liz. I dragged her a lot. But there's another thing I want to get into. Miss Owens. Miss Owens is Karen Owens. You know Karen Owens? She pregnant. She with child. But let me see what this hoe had to say about Cardi. So, I guess she has enough to say about my fellow New Yorker. And trust me, there will be a video coming out tonight about Candace Owens' stupid ass. Since most black people didn't have the spine to admit that Ben Shapiro was 100% correct about Cardi B and how her music and platform contributes to de-integration of black culture and values, here we go. This is what the fuck her dumb ass said.
Cardi B, it is one of the biggest insults. If black Americans are not insulted by the fact that Joe Biden, who has been hiding in his basement, for the entire year, made an appearance to come out because he was going to do an interview with Cardi B. Do we have nothing better to offer? I mean, this would be akin to Donald Trump saying, I'm going to give no interviews, but he came up and he decided to give an interview to Justin Bieber, right? I mean, Justin Bieber, I'm sorry, I know you're a Christian man, I don't want to put you in the same boat as Cardi B. But it would be absurd, right? White America would go, what is this? Why are you being interviewed by Justin Bieber? And it's because you're pandering, right? You're pandering. You look at Cardi B's Instagram, you see she has millions of followers, and you think, okay, this is an illiterate person, and if I appeal to this illiterate person, and she does, like she literally did in the middle of this interview, and they think she's cool, she's hip just by sitting here and taking this interview, black people vote for me. It's basically saying, black people, you are stupid, you are dumb, and you're so foolish. I mean, do you think, what if she just said that?
So keep in mind, Miss Owens is pregnant. Cardi B could have literally went for her shit. But you know Cardi B, New Yorkers, we love to drag people all fucking day. So Cardi B said, you want to know why Joe got to talk to me, Candace? Because I have a #1 song. And yet my sister can't go to the beach in the Hamptons without Trump supporters harassing because they were by themselves and Santa Claus was harassing my sis girlfriend, and all because they're Afro-Hispanic gay people. And then she keeps going back and forth with people. So overall, she keeps telling this crime bill. She said Joe Biden used her and Bernie Sanders used her. Nobody used Cardi. Cardi's her own motherfucking person. Like, Candace is from the suburbs. You don't mess with black people from New York. And people keep like, why you keep saying New York? New Yorkers, we have time to fucking drag you. I just fucking dragged Liz. And I drag Candace's ass all day. And I'm going to drag her ass as soon as I get off. Because, like I said, look for a video. Because I got time to drag that bitch all day. I was not going to do it because she's pregnant. She pregnant. But fuck that. She ain't got no soul. She ain't got no heart. Talking about people use people. Candace, there's a reason why you didn't get invited to the RNC, to the white man's table. Vernon Jones got invited. Kimberly Kotlik, whatever her name is, got invited with all her teeth. Fucking Jack Brewer and Herschel Walker, they got invited. You, Diamond and Silk didn't get invited because y'all bunch of, and I'm going to say this, y'all bunch of niggas. Y'all bunch of low-class ass black people. Y'all an embarrassment. You a whole motherfucking minstrel show. That's what the fuck you are, Candace. I'm not Jamaican, but I've been around a couple Jamaicans in the Bronx. They were singing Candace. So, Candace with child, this is what you can do. Actually try to work on being a better person for your child. And stop engaging in petty fights with people. Because you looking like a straight up ass right now. That's all I'm saying. But until then, you guys have a good night. And like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until then, bye-bye.